We need to talk. Thing is, a game like Fallout 4 or any of the Bethesda, Skyrim, Fallout games, they're just not like one playthrough kind of a game. You play it through and then you think, hang on a minute, what if I play as a completely different style of character? Maybe even a girl, maybe even a rogue, maybe even a mage, maybe even someone that likes, melee weapons, etc., etc. What if I do these side quests? What if I go with that faction? What if I go to the Brotherhood? What if I, blah, 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 blah. It's just not a single playthrough kind of a game. You know what I'm saying? Now, one of the downsides of that, though, is that sometimes these games can end up like just a kind of a little bit predictable. You kind of get to certain locations and you kind of go, well, I know there's going to be like 2 guards up there. I know when I kind of walk down this road, there's going to be a bandit on my left. Or I think a Deathclaw's going to spawn at some point when I go around here. And there's a little bit of randomization. I got attacked by a bear. But by and large, the more you kind of play a game through, the more you start to kind of learn what's going to come at you and when. And you can't change that completely. There's always going to be certain things that will happen at certain times, and that's fine, because that's just how these kind of quest-driven games work. But just supposing we could add a little random element, an element of danger. Just suppose we could add a bit of unpredictability to the game. Supposing we could be walking down a road and get attacked by a gang that we didn't even know was going to be there. Supposing we could, suddenly walk along and discover that there's a full-on battle between synths and the railroad just waiting for us to run away. Supposing you go to a location that you've been to before and now it's been taken over by a completely different faction or something like that. Now, not all of that is completely possible, but a lot of it is. And if you want to, the way I've been playing my game recently is with a mod that allows very, very unpredictable spawns of enemies in all sorts of different locations, to the point that I can walk through the same location several times and come against different enemies every single time. And especially for a mode like survival mode, when you don't fast travel and you will be kind of walking through these areas again and again and again, to find that these areas, thank you tree for ruining my very cool intro. I'm sorry, let me just fix that. Just to the side. Just to the side.
What to do about the institute.
Thank you. And now people are talking to me as well as again. Anyway, like I was saying, is I can now go to these locations over and over again and be attacked by different groups each time, and always have that like feeling of fear. That feeling of what's going to happen, what's going to attack me. Always having to be prepared for what just might appear. And to do that, to get that sensation, we've got to mod it. Welcome to the ever-exciting game of Let's Play Basketball with Mama Murphy on Mama Murphy's chair. But leaving that aside, I have installed a mod that I really, really like, and I've been using it all the way through my new playthrough, and I don't think I'm ever going to take it off unless something better comes along, but it hasn't at the moment. And it is called, very dramatic, War of the Commonwealth. And you install it in the usual way. You go onto your Nexus mod manager and you install it, and then it adds something new to your tab into your aid inventory, which is called the WotC, War of the Commonwealth spawn configuration. And you go in there and you can change all sorts of things. You can, and there's just tons of it. I want to show you the mod, and then I'll kind of show you some of the things that we can change. But just go crazy. Let's just go into some of the presets. I'm going to click on Loose Cannon, which is kind of like the third kind of highest one, and it even comes with an exciting little tune to play while doing that. And then quite simply, we're just gonna go for a walk past my little TheAdiposeTV building. By the way, I'm soon going to start as well as my Mod It series, I'm going to start a kind of Build It series. I've been kind of learning to build and putting various bits together, and I'm going to change the whole of Sanctuary into something awesome. And I'd love it if you guys can join me. If you guys have any suggestions or good kind of like internet forums I can kind of go to find ideas and other bits and bobs, I would love to have your suggestions. Now, like I said in the intro, what I really, really love about this mod is that it just takes the predictability completely away from the wasteland. Now, it doesn't affect, as far as I understand, it doesn't affect the interiors. The interiors will always be whatever they have been. But look, what the frick is that? what is going on in front of me. There are some people there are some creatures having a little fight, and this, you can basically customize how much you want this mod to do. Now, I've actually been playing, if I just go back to the settings just for a minute, I've been playing on Mama's Boy. So I'm playing on survival, and survival mode you die a lot, and Mama's Boy, even just Mama's Boy, it just adds a few little things out there. So putting it up here to loose cannon is going to be a big shift indeed. But basically what you're going to find is that there are going to be so many battles out there that you cannot kill everything. And that's one of the big problems with well, I suppose problems is maybe the wrong word, but one of the issues one of the issues with the default game is that you kind of can kill everything. Like every battle that you kind of come across, you can kind of deal with it. And so one of the things I've been really looking forward to doing here with this mod is that it makes you have to be a lot more tactical. And right here, you know, all this stuff's kind of coming at me. It's just me and dog meat. There's a huge amount of it, and I might be able to take some of this lot out. He says he misses the frickin' dog. Shoot it. But actually, more likely, especially if I was early on in the game, I'm just going to have to back up. I'm just going to have to back up, find another way around, maybe kind of sneak past it. Maybe hope that one group of enemies kind of attacks another. Let me just flick onto a different gun to give myself just a little bit more of an opportunity. Ow. Get away from me. Oh, there goes the car. Yes, come on. Anyway. Oh, that's bad, that's bad. Now, it obviously something that involves spawns like this does level up with your character. So that's a pretty meaty raider, and, oh, in fact, a robot as well, fantastic. But not all of the battles will be undefeatable, if that kind of makes sense. You know, sometimes you'll have a load of ghouls at you, ghouls run at you, which will be horrifically scary. But it will be a possible fight. But like the mod author quite happily admits this. In fact, more than admits it, he encourages this. He says, look, you're gonna run out of ammo. If you try and kill everything, if you try and take on every single battle, you will run out of ammunition to take all these creatures down. Because most creatures take more ammo than you can kill them with. So you're actually going to have to see some battles like I'm doing now and just go, you know what, I'm getting out of it. I'm leaving, I'm running, I'm coming down this, and I really like that as a gameplay feature. That sometimes you're just going to have to go, you know, this is not a battle that is worth me taking on. I've got a mission to get to, I've got a quest to get to, so I'm going to get out of here. No, my sweet Jesus, we found the ghouls! Oh my God, we found the ghouls! Now, this is one of the reasons why I've been playing this thing on Mama's Boys, because you can just increase the spawn levels to ridiculous amounts. You can make the wasteland a freaking war. You can do. I mean, obviously, this mod is very PC. Go away, leave me alone. This mod is very, very PC dependent. So I've got a lot of creatures spawned, and whenever I was fighting before, oh God, really? Would you please stay down? Whatever, you know. And what you often find is that one big fight that you're having will go away. Please go away. Please go away. I'm running out of explosives and nothing else. One battle that you're having will run into another battle. So if we end up running into a load of raiders now, the raiders are going to attack the ghouls are going to attack the raiders, and we're going to be like, let's just get away. You're also going to use the sprint button a hell of a lot, even more than you've ever used the sprint button before. Will you please go away? You're going to use the sprint button more than you've ever done as you try and get away from this stuff. And so what you need to decide is basically how much you want this to impact your game. Are you going to stick it on Mama's Boy so you just find a little patrol of kind of 3 or 4 people? Oh, good. See, there we go. There's our raiders. Do you just want a little kind of group like this to make you have to kind of defend yourself, or do you want this kind of horde en masse coming at you? And what I've done is I'm playing a character called Mitch at the moment, who is very, very friendly, and his basic gimmick is that he has lots and lots of companions. So I've got I've got unlimited companion framework running, and if you check out my modded videos, I kind of discuss it on there. And one of the things I've been doing is, as I've ended up with more companions, I've increased the amount of spawns that are kind of coming on the mod. Get away from me! Go. Look at this horde! It's like something out of the freaking Walking Dead. Love it. It's amazing and terrible all at the same time, but you will see my ammo going down and down, and I'm certainly running out of explosives. Oh, and now the bloat flies are getting involved. The other thing that this does, you might kind of think, well, is this just making everything against you? No, it doesn't. there's a very cool addition to this, which is to go away, which increases the Minutemen. Now, what it does as, oh my God, will you leave me be? Okay, so there's no way I can win this fight. This fight is now officially stupid. Because I've just run from one ghoul encampment into another. Goodness knows what's happened to Dogmeat. But you can see that I'm running this on a very, very high level. In fact, maybe what I'll do is I'll show you a lower version so you can kind of see one going into the other. And I'm assuming there's still a horde behind me? Yep, here they come. Here they come. Let's try something a little more explosive. I've lost my track of thought. I'm sorry, because I am really enjoying making this video and hoping that's kind of coming across the kind of the fun that you can kind of have with this. Note that this isn't survival. If this was survival, I'd have been so dead by now. Oh, great. One grenade. Anyway, I was talking about the Minutemen. That was the worst thrown grenade I think I've ever done. Yeah, so what this mod also does is, depending on your charisma and the size, so your happiness and the size of your settlement, it gives you a load of patrols around your settlements. And right, there's super mutant on this side, there's a bloat flies on this side, let's see if I can get one lot to go into the other. The bigger your settlement, the more patrols you get, and you can have up to, if I read the description, I've seen this all the way through mine, you can have up to 2 patrols that are basically going around the very near perimeter of your settlement. And then you can have up to, I think, 5 that are actually doing a far more distant patrol route as well. So we might even kind of see some, I don't know if you can come quite out this far, but certainly if I had say Abernathy Farm or something, we could certainly have a lot more kind of running, and that kind of helps to kind of balance this kind of stuff out, because let's just click on bullet time if I can. No, I can't, but I didn't need to. But you can see there, I think what happened there was that the ghouls ran into the all the kind of the raiders and the bugs, and now of course the bugs are coming after me, and we've just found a little more ghouls, so perhaps we can make the bugs run into these as well. So it kind of makes the wasteland, depending on your setting, it makes the wasteland like a place to survive and get through, rather than necessarily a place that you're going to win. Now you might be looking at this and thinking, hang on Addy, this is ridiculously arcadey, you're just running, you're screaming, I don't want to play I don't want to play my game like that, and it's just too much for me, and that's absolutely fine, because I haven't actually been doing that. So let's obviously a load of stuff's already spawned, so we're going to have to kind of move. But if I come back into my inventory and we'll go to the apparel and the spawn configuration, let's just have a look at a few more of the settings. So first of all, you've got the presets, which basically just you can Mama's Boy, Weekend Warrior, Loose Cannon, No Remorse, or you can just turn the whole thing off if you want to. That's fine. So let's just flick it back to Mama's Boy for a second, but then let's have a look at some of the other options. Now this is good, this is great. Now he's added, or he or she, sorry, and the person who's made this mod, their name is Engager, which is a great name, and they've added loads and loads of places where creatures can spawn. And basically what they've now done is that you can kind of customize how many of those spawn points will actually kind of be used. So you can have up to, 800 different spawn points, or you can have 600. So basically, do you want the wasteland to be just teeming with war, or do you just want to kind of come across them every so often? And I've kind of got them on Mama's Boy now, which is kind of drastically going to kind of reduce them. So you can customize how many points that these people will actually appear, and you can customize that by the glowing sea, by animals, etc., etc., etc. You can then change how many people will actually spawn in each of those groups. Now this is one of the reasons why I've used the main settings, because I just kind of like to pick a setting and kind of let the mod author kind of play with them. But for argument's sake, the version I've been playing on Mama's Boy, you often come across groups of 3, and it's often kind of groups of 3 raiders. But you can tweak that, so it could be at random, it could be dynamic, it could be really, really high, it could be small, it could be just one-off kind of creatures. So again, you've got that control in your game, which is great. So I just come down here and I'll just so you can see that the chance for a randomized group number, which is quite nice. So you never quite know what you're gonna come at, which is going to be great. You can also affect your Minutemen patrols, and now of course it doesn't have to be Minutemen as well, because if you are part of the Railroad, you're part of the Brotherhood of Steel, you can then have them kind of spawning and doing various kind of patrols around your kind of cities as well. So don't think it's just a Minutemen mod, this, or the good side. It's not. It's actually, you can just, whatever group you are part of, it will kind of increase that. You can then put in all sorts of other kind of factions as well. You can change how often kind of the various places kind of respawn. There's a limiter. There's all sorts. And then at the bottom here there is a kind of an overall kind of overview of what you've currently got things kind of set to, and I absolutely love this mod. If I haven't really been giving my mods kind of like rankings from like, you know, essential to a maybe or preferable and stuff, but for me this is absolutely essential, especially on any other playthrough than the first one, because you just don't know what's going to come at you. It completely removes that idea that you've played this game before and you know what's coming at you. It makes the wasteland a living, breathing place. And there you go, look, see, the ghouls and the synths are now at war. I am going to duck down and I'm going to try and get the hell away. It may not work, but it just, do you get what I'm saying? It changes the way you have to approach combat. It changes the way that not every fight is winnable. It changes that you don't have resources to take everything down. It also means that you can actually get a lot more ammo and resources and weapons, you know, at different stages of the game, because you'll be kind of encountering these creatures that may well have them. You can control whether you want this game, whether you want it to be really, really hard or just kind of a bit of kind of variation. And it's just a wonderful way of improving what can be sometimes a kind of more static part of the game, which is kind of just wandering around here in the wasteland. So if you like War of the Commonwealth, do come over here. Make sure you hit the endorse button, which I'm doing now because I think this is a wonderful mod and I'd love to see more of it in the future. Like I said, the installation is as you'd expect. You just go to the files, you click the latest version, you download, you go into your mod manager, and you just right click it and you install. And then when you get into the game, you'll have an announcement, a notification that little device has been added, and then you just tweak your settings as you want, and then you're ready to go. And when you do install it, I recommend you either start a new game or you make sure you are inside before you install it for the first time. It just tends to make things just a little bit more stable. If, of course, you are running on a laptop or a low power PC and you set it to kind of spawn gazillions of things, don't be surprised if your game crashes. And of course, if you do have big mass groups and then you kind of run into a settlement where you'd quite like people to stay alive, then that's going to be a problem. But again, it kind of just adds to that kind of unpredictability and strategic side of this mod. And I feel now I've been talking along about this mod way too long, so I'll just summarize it by saying, get this mod. It is great. It is fantastic. You have been fantastic. Let's be fantastic together. If you'd like to see more moddits, then check out my channel. Do give me some tips on build it videos. And I've got a Fallout roleplay which uses War of the Commonwealth on a low setting, which of course you can watch through as well. Take care and goodbye.